Hello, hello. We are live with Social Media Breakfast of Houston and really of the world because we are now like live with people from around the world. So, hi guys, how are you guys doing?
Hi,
I've got
world.
Chris and Jim with me. They have been.
Since it's breakfast too, I brought my coffee.
Oh, excellent. And oh, by the way, I'm also going live on Amazon, which they just right before we got on, guys, they gave me a huge tutorial. We were in a big rush to try to go live on Amazon Live, and now I'm live on Amazon Live too. This is so cool.
Oh, wow.
So cool.
As we like to say, it's meta, right? We
Yeah, it's totally meta. I'm like, guys, we got to do this. Help. So that's what we're going to be talking about today is Amazon Live. And I cannot think of two better people than Chris and Jim to come talk to you about that. They've been really working on this. I'd say like it's been about almost a year now, right? Have you been doing Amazon Live?
Yeah, a year. Yep.
About a year. And I started hearing them in some groups I was going to and talking about their experiences. And I said, I have to have you come talk to my audience because I don't even think most people know that Amazon Live is a thing, right? So why don't I'm going to open it up. Instead of telling off your big bios, I'm going to say, Chris, you tell us first who you are, kind of how you got into this Amazon Live thing and what you did. And then Jim, do the same thing. Sound good?
Yeah, thanks, Cam. We appreciate you having us on here with your community. Yeah, so my name is Chris Stone. I'm at Castahead at castahead.net. And I work with people to make them sound and look really good. And that could be on a remote production of any, like a teleconference, but mostly it's for live streaming and podcasting. And so that's a business where I met the gentleman on the right side of your screen doing marketing the Marine Corps way at a podcast meetup in Atlanta. And we have similar businesses, but never really competed with each other because we have our own sort of voices. But we wanted to do something together. And one day, Dr. Fuse called me up and said, hey, Chris, we're Amazon influencers. And I said, what is that? And so, I gave him that look that a dog looks, when he hears like a weird noise. And that night we had a call and came up with this show called Dealcasters, and we launched it on Amazon Live, and we did not expect to really do much, to be honest. Our expectations were like this, but we just like to experiment on new platforms and love to go live and do what we do. And this was a way for us to do our businesses on Amazon. And Cami, this has just turned out to be something that's well beyond our expectations. So excited to share that with your folks today.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited too. And we'll talk more about that because I had a similar experience with Jim about becoming an Amazon influencer. And we'll talk about that as we go along too, because you may already be an Amazon influencer and not even know it. Just letting you know that.
That's right, Madeline Scalar.
Jim.
Yeah. So this Jim Fuse of Fusion Marketing, and I do marketing the Marine Corps way. I retired from the Marine Corps just a little over 12 years ago as a lieutenant colonel, and got full time into digital marketing in about 2016. But the last 3 years, I've become a live streamer. I do a lot of remote live stream productions. So during these last however many months it's been since we told we had to stay inside, that actually has become a booming business. I've worked with the San Francisco Chronicle. I'm working with GlaxoSmithKline, IBM Research, MIT. And Chris and I actually just recently helped a team do the Hopin and StreamYard event with Gary Vee, and previously also with Seth Godin. So it's been a lot of fun what you can do with a computer in your basement with a
True.
with fiber. So
yeah,
it's and then the Amazon has just been a whole nother. If you had told me and Chris a year ago we would be doing what we're doing now, not only the success of our live show, but the success of what we're doing as Amazon influencers, we would say, get out of here. No way. And it's far exceeded our expectations. And so, I couldn't be happier than to have a great partner like Chris. And what's nice is we do live near each other. He's in Gwinnett County, and it's Duluth, right? I always get them all mixed
People
up.
don't know Gwinnett and Duluth. It's Atlanta.
Yeah,
Georgia.
and I'm in Marietta, which is Atlanta also.
Right.
So we can actually physically see each other once in a while, and we did just have a lot of fun. We went up to Jessica Phillips' event in Lima, Ohio, Social Media Week Lima, and that was a lot of fun. You should come, Cammie. You would.
I would love it. Yeah, so you guys invite me to speak, I'll come.
Yeah. Yeah. You
That'd be
hear that,
awesome. That'd be fun. I actually am going to be in Tennessee. I'm going to be in Nashville next 2 weeks. But yeah, it's not quite to Atlanta, but I'm getting over your way.
I lived there for 11 years. That's where I went to college.
I know. You're a musician, really, truly.
Yeah, a little bit. Not as good as you. I can't do the harmonies as good as you, Cammie. I just am, I'll sit back and play the bass and let people like you play violins and sing harmonies.
Well, you guys, just so you know, I am a closet piano player. I did take 10 years of lessons.
Okay, so we have a band almost. We just need a
let's
drummer and a guitar player, huh? So anybody that's listening, jump on in.
That's right.
So we have a lot of people on the side starting to say hi. So make sure you tell us you're here. Hi, Sandra, Geeka, Nick. Hi, Nick. Brian. Oh, Brian's here. Jim says good.
Oh, yeah.
Marine.
Awesome.
Vanessa, Geeka, I already said. That's great. I love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome. So let us know if you're here and where you're dialing in from, as they say. But we're going to jump right into this because this is something that I want to talk about my experience real quick. As I was listening to this, and I'm always, my ears are always open for the next thing, right? That's my job, is to kind of listen for the next thing. And I started hearing this Amazon live streaming, Amazon stuff. And I thought, that's kind of interesting. I have, for a very long time, I have been using Amazon, like I'm an Amazon affiliate. That's what I always thought of myself as an Amazon affiliate. Because many years ago, people would ask me, what equipment do you use for your live streams, for this, for that? And so I put together a couple of lists, just almost to make it easier for myself, to be honest. It's just like, here's the list, here's all the stuff, right? And so I put that out there, and I did not realize all this other stuff was happening. And they started to invite people in that were affiliates already, I guess, as influencers. And so I heard about this, then I went in and I kind of checked into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it already says you are an influencer, you can go live streaming. And I was like, excuse me, what? And part of that is I don't use Mac products. And I know you guys are going to all hate me for that, but I don't use Mac products generally. And so, or Apple rather, not Mac. Yeah, that's why I didn't know. Cause basically you can only do it if you have a Apple device.
iPhone or
iOS.
iPad. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And so iOS. And so what I will tell you is because of Clubhouse, I did buy this little Apple device. It's an iPod actually. And I started going on Clubhouse with this iPod. So I'm now able to use the iPod to stream live through StreamYard. Thank you guys for walking me through the technical aspects of it. So you don't actually, I think I paid like $100 for this thing. It wasn't super expensive. And so I'm able to now live stream on Amazon too. So we are live streaming there today and again, experimenting. So could you talk to us about how, if you are an Amazon affiliate, great. You can jump on and see if you can maybe already qualify. But if you're not, how can people get in to be an Amazon influencer or, start to stream from there? Give us I know there's a couple of ways, one being, so tell me how to do it.
Yeah, I can start, and Jim, you can fill in any of the holes that I'll likely leave behind. But first and foremost, like you said, Amazon affiliate, Amazon associates. So if you just Google Amazon associates program, it'll probably be the first thing that pops up in search. You got to make sure that you're one of those. And what you did and what a lot of people do is that allows you to create a link, an associate's link. That's your own link. Then when somebody clicks it and then they purchase that thing, you'll get a small commission based on that purchase at no additional cost to the person who bought that particular product. And so, a lot of people, do that, but there's a lot of rules and regulations. You can't put it in an email. And so what people end up doing is they end up burying it at the bottom of their show notes of their podcasts, or they put it on their YouTube, videos, and then they hope and pray that somebody's going to click something and they're going to get 13 cents for buying a toaster, right?
Crazy.
Right. Right. And so what Amazon influencers does when you do go live and when you do create content and you make a shop page that has shoppable photos and shoppable videos, and then you go live, you're basically doing that inside of Amazon where people have come to buy. So, I always equate it to like when you take that affiliate link and you put it in your podcast show notes, or you put it in your YouTube video, wherever you're putting it, wherever, on your website or whatever, it's like people go there, but they're not ready to buy necessarily. It's like driving down the road and seeing a billboard for pizza. If you're not hungry, you're not going to pull over. Right. And so when you go live on Amazon, when people go into Amazon, they're ready to spend. It's the #1 search engine for products. And so it's a completely different thing than YouTube and podcasts. They go to YouTube, the audience is wanting to learn something and they're not necessarily wanting to pay for something. Same thing for podcasts. They're wanting to, they could be out walking their dog. They could be out for, a run, driving, commute, whatever. They're not ready to buy. When they come to Amazon, they got money burning a hole in their pocket. You're the expert and you're talking about something. You could be interviewing somebody, talking into a microphone or whatever. Somebody's going to see you as the expert. They're going to buy. So it's like taking that affiliate link and just hypercharging it, turbocharging it. And so your money just ends up going like this, like a hockey stick.
That's crazy. I mean, and it makes total sense, right? Because if there's no barriers, you don't have to go away from the platform you're in to buy the thing. I just think it's really fascinating on that side. And so that being said, Jim, maybe you kind of talk about this. What started to happen as this started to kind of dawn on you? Like what was the strategy that you came up with?
Well, Chris and I didn't want to be another QVC HSN sort of thing. And so we're like, you know what? We'd wanted to do a show. And so it's like, hey, let's interview people and let's talk about live streaming and podcasting and help people because, just like right now, you've got, if you're over on Amazon, you can see products in there. So we could be talking about like this microphone, the Samson Q2U. And people could buy the microphone, or they might say, hey, I'm looking for a microphone. And we could go find it on Amazon, add it to our carousel. So we said, you know what? Let's interview people. How many people do you know, Cammie, that have written a book that sells on Amazon? Why not talk about a book and people can buy it? Because when people are on Facebook or other platforms, it's just different, right? It's like, oh, I got to find a link. I got to go look in the chat. People don't come on to Facebook usually to shop, right? And even with YouTube, people are doing, it's more of like how to, or I'm doing research, but I'm not in shopping mode. On Amazon, the money's burning a hole in the proverbial pocket, or I guess now digital wallet, who knows? And so, you've already got them there in the mindset to buy. But we said, you know what? We're not going to be these salesy guys. We're going to interview, great people. We've had, Neil Schaefer, who you had on recently as well, talking about influencer marketing, talking about his book. Sure, we had other stuff in the carousel, but we weren't talking about it. But it's kind of like, what's the mic that Neil uses? What's the mic Chris uses? Those sort of things are in there. So it's almost like having that idea list that you talk about in your carousel when you're talking about a topic. And so, we've had some really, neat, interesting things. We had Dave Jackson, Hall of Fame podcaster, the day his book launched, he was on our show talking about his book, Profit from Your Podcast. We've had Chris Kremitzos, we've had Dr. I and Julia McCoy when they released their book. So we have intentionally chosen to be more focused on, providing high quality interviews. And then we do have some fun. We have a Dealcasters After Dark. We did a show last night where we talked about, it was pregame, right? The Cowboys and the Patriots played. So we had, or not Patriots, Buccaneers, I think Patriots, but we had, tailgating gear. We had, some other stuff in there that was involved with the team's colors, but we had fun with it. And so it really, it's really possible for you to niche. There's fitness people that are doing workouts. There are people doing cooking shows. There are people doing art projects. as long as the item's on Amazon, you could sell it. I see in the audience over on LinkedIn, someone I just got
Yeah.
introduced to, Patrick Kirshner. He's also a retired Marine. He does voiceover work. Well, we had Jody Krangle on, who's a voiceover, superstar, and she was talking about some of the stuff she uses. But it wasn't like, oh, buy this microphone. So it's it really just becomes a strategy. Now, the crazy thing though that's happened is that unlike YouTube, where you have to get thousands of subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
very early on, and even more so now, because we started doing these product videos, companies are coming to us. We'd like you to talk about our products. And
yeah, so this is the second way I feel like you can get on. So by the way, along the bottom, I've had a ticker going, which is like where you can go watch all these Amazon live streams. Like it's sort of the TV of Amazon Live, if you will. You just go to amazon.com/live. And it's interesting though, because people are going to be hiring people to like you guys to start, showing their products. Or I don't know if you're charging money or what's happening.
Yes.
So could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. And that was, a lot of people look at live streaming and they compare platforms. And I did it when I spoke earlier. We talked about YouTube, we talk about Facebook, we talk about all the, you can go live on a ton of different places. But on Amazon, it's we don't treat it like that. It's not YouTube at all. And one of the big differences between Amazon and YouTube is monetization. And so if anyone here is watching, listening, whatever, and they're trying to build their YouTube channel, it is a long road uphill to get monetized. The amount of hours that you need, the amount of subscribers that you need. Jim and I went live for 90 minutes when we started. And so that was one show where it was like he and I were just kind of talking to each other and doing some demos, and then we took that video and repurposed it, put it into the flywheel, and sent it all over the place. Our second show was we had interviewed Jennifer Watson, who was with the Weather Channel and at the time Agora Pulse, and we went live with her, and that's when we began to be monetized. So when you go live, and I know Jose had a question here in the chat as well, when that you go into Amazon, sometimes not to buy, but to do product research. As Amazon influencers, we're in there as you're doing research. So we have videos where we're demonstrating things. We're talking about those things. When we go live, our live video goes onto the product page. And when somebody clicks on it, we get their cookie. And so when somebody clicks on, we're talking about a microphone, and they click on it and they watch it and they're like, you know what? I don't want to buy that microphone. I want to buy a different microphone. And they buy a different microphone, and then they buy diapers and some candy. And, because that's what you do. You fill up your cart. You don't just buy one thing and leave. You're on Amazon, for crying out loud. You can buy everything. And so so it doesn't matter if they click on that item and not buy it. As long as they clicked on that item, you get the commission for every single thing that they buy for the next 24 hours. So we see this list of, like, we've sold a tire, we've sold feminine hygiene products, makeup. Jim and I are not applying any of those anytime soon, but we make commission based on that. So that's really the biggest difference, is the monetization standpoint.
Yeah, I think so too. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Maybe, Jim, you could talk about the different levels of monetization, because you talked about the 90 minutes. So there's this thing, like when you first become an influencer in Amazon, you have to do a certain amount of live streaming. So could you talk a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, so you start out as, and it makes you feel so good. You're a rising star.
I know.
And so when you're in the rising star level, really what they're looking for, you got to go live for 90 minutes. They want to see that you're really, I think it's more, is your tech working? It's showing a little bit of a commitment to live stream. Because I have seen some people, believe it or not, that they've maybe gone live 2 or 3 times, but they're only going live like 10 minutes at a time, and they never get to the 90 minutes. So they stay as a rising star. And so you really want to get to that 90 minutes and get to the next level, which is insider. So you get to Insider. Now your video, like this show as an example, would be
Mhm.
eligible to show up on product pages while you're live. It's
Mhm.
based on the products you put in the carousel. And so as you highlight a product, if you had your microphone on, right, and you
Mhm.
highlight the microphone while you're live streaming, that video is appearing on there. And sometimes it'll also appear on products that are similar to your microphone. And that goes back to Chris's point. They click on it and boom, people pop in. Now, regardless of whether you're Rising Star or Insider, one of the most powerful things that they've added, and sometimes Chris and I kick ourselves a little bit, to be truthful, is shoppable videos. You can record videos. They recommend, 2 to 5 minutes where you're reviewing products and you
Mhm.
upload it. It used to be 10. If you upload 3 videos on your shop page, and it has a link, you could share it out on other socials. Someone watches that video, gets, you get the cookie and everything, you get commission. So that's how you can make money while you sleep. So it's not even having to be live. And
Mhm.
then the shoppable photos, which is something that Amazon is going to start doing more with, is more of like that Instagram look of where you take a picture and you
Mhm.
tag items that are in the photo as well. Some of those things are starting to appear on product pages in a test thing, and they actually just released that you can do that stuff through your phone, which I still don't know why people are so enamored with doing everything on their phone. I need the big computer screen, maybe because
Me
I'm
too.
old and blind. But then the next level after Insider, which is a little more of a challenge, is A-List. A-List requires, and that's their top level, requires you have to make at least $10,000 in and that means $10,000 in revenue for Amazon, not you making $10,000, or 100 products in a 30-day period. But the hardest hurdle is you have to get to 2,000 followers on Amazon.
Mm.
So even though you got to prove to be an Amazon influencer because you had a big
Got it.
following somewhere, now they want you to get followers on their platform. Why? Because theoretically people get notified when you go live.
Mhm.
I think that's still kind of up in the air, but they are also now making it harder in that even though I think that 2,000 is still a number, they're going to look at the quality of your streams to say
Mhm.
whether or not you're going to get to be an A-lister. So,
So the one thing you guys can all do now is go to dealcasters.live and make sure you follow the show.
yes,
So
yeah, we'd
that'll help.
appreciate that.
That'll
Well,
help.
and actually something we're doing for the month of September is for every new follow we get, and you don't have to do a screenshot or anything like that.
Mhm.
We're donating $2, $1 going to AmeriCares to help Hurricane Ida victims, and $1 to No One Left Behind, which is helping out the folks that have been getting evacuated from Afghanistan. So
That's great.
that's something
So,
we're
I mean,
doing.
that's great. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit was the whole nonprofit side of this, because
Mhm.
there's another, a lot of nonprofits make money off of Amazon with Amazon Smile. And I was
Right.
just kind of, I know that these aren't connected necessarily, but I'm kind of trying to think about how a nonprofit could use the live streaming, even if they aren't like, they, first of all, any money that came to them, it could be all cash for their organization.
You actually bring up a really good point. I think
Mhm.
what they could do is they could
Mhm.
create a shop
Mhm.
if they've got the social following, and they could do shoppable videos. They don't even have to go live. So just
Mhm.
review product videos if they've got a face to the organization. That would be what I would think. And what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, and I know Tracy in the chat is mentioning this too about it's so interested but can't imagine streaming for full 90 minutes. A lot of Amazon influencers don't go live.
Yeah.
I don't want to say a lot. I mean, Jim and I think there's probably 1,000 influencers on the platform. Let that one sink in, because there's 38 million YouTube channels, and there is maybe 1,000 content creators, Amazon influencers. That is
Mhm.
the pool is this shallow. The time
It's really there's the
it is to get
competition.
in.
It won't be that way forever, but the competition right
Right.
now is pretty easy to deal with. And you don't have to stream for 90 minutes altogether. So to get past the Rising Star, you just have to stream for 90 minutes within a month.
Right.
So like if you went live 3 times, like today, for example, we're going to go for a whole hour. And then like, if I just go one more time this month,
Mhm.
which I need to do because I like keep going, falling short of the 90 minutes by like just this much. It's mostly because I didn't know how to do what you guys just taught me this morning. I was like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Anyway, now I am. And so, the key is like just to go those times. And the other thing about the 90 minutes and the different levels is you get different levels of money. Like as you get higher up in the levels, you get more, right? So can you explain that a little bit?
Well, the commission levels for products are, it's a very complicated little thing they've got going on. Amazon does, and to be honest, this is a fairly new program, and they move goalposts around, and so who knows? And then when you see all these lists of products, sometimes you're making as much as 4 to 7% on something. Which if it's a luxury beauty, I think is like 10%. So unfortunately,
doing my makeup online.
Cami might be able to do that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, you could too, because it would be very interesting.
But electronic, items are like a computer is like 1%, 1.2%. So everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to dump all these huge, expensive computers in my carousel. You're not. There's no advantage to doing that, really. And so Jim and I are in electronics, and so we talk about certain items. They're probably anywhere from 2 to 3%, but we have a bunch of home-related items too. And our brand is mostly related to live streaming and podcasting, but we also have homes. We also have things in our home. And so we do product videos too for things like, this Beast. It's called the Beast tumbler and all kinds of stuff. And we'll do those product videos.
I gotta put it in the.
This is my brand new Sony ZV-E10 camera, which I did an unboxing video on Amazon for.
Wow! Can you add more things when you're actually in?
You can. Up where your items are, or if you go back a little bit because you're in the chat.
Oh yeah, I am in the chat.
It'll let you kind of escape out of the chat, and then you'll see the carousel.
Return to
live Amazon creator training happening right now. This is amazing.
You guys, it's here. So I'll try to figure that out in a minute. It's hard for me to look down and talk at the same time, though. So that is one thing. You'll have to have somebody in the background doing all this stuff for you, right? It would be helpful. So that being said, there was somebody who asked a question. I want to get to some of these. Yeah, Sandra said, it's glad to hear it's 90 minutes in 1 month, not one video. Yes, me too. I was like, I'll never do that either. I don't have time. So as someone who has products, I'm an author. How would you suggest making the best use of Amazon Live for authors?
Well, first of all, Kathleen, there are a ton. Well, I shouldn't say a ton. In that group of 1,000, I can think of at least 3 or 4 people off the top of my head that love to do author interviews. And so it could be as simple as like, if you connect with me and Chris, happy to maybe, do an introduction for you. You could do that. Yeah, there you go. Right. There's another show right there for you, Cami. Because that's the other thing, right? You could just do a show that was just on Amazon.
I will.
That is interviewing people that has nothing to do with your normal brand. And that's kind of what Chris and I did. It's the Cami TV station. It's whatever you want to put on it.
It's Chris and Jim, the deal casters.
Right. But yeah, so author interviews, that would be one thing. And so if you've got a book, there's definitely influencers out there. If you don't have your own channel that would do that, we're, always recommending that to people because, hey, why not? You already got that book. It's sitting on the Amazon shelf somewhere, waiting for people to learn more about the.
Well, and it's also, you don't have to be the influencer. You get interviewed, and I do think that's the second way you can use Amazon Live is to reach out to influencers on Amazon Live and kind of pitch them on their shows. Now, a lot of them I've watched them. A lot of them are just like sitting doing their makeup, hanging out, doing stuff. You've done some of that too, Jim. I've seen you do it. And they're fun. I actually need to do my I have a power sprayer that I'm like I've had like this really long saga with. And so I have it'll be kind of funny. I think I'll do that. I'm waiting for it to get a little bit cooler in Texas to go out and do this. But so I just think there's a lot of cool things you can do that you would only put on Amazon Live, right? That you'd only go there with. But the key is if you have a product or a service or whatever, even your guys' podcast, you have it on Amazon. So if you go to our Amazon Live from today, you'll see that I have all of their swag. So they have a lot of Dealcaster swag on Amazon, and some
always
stuff
be branding. Always be branding.
Right? And you can also, subscribe to their podcast there, which is really cool. I mean, so there's some cool things you can do, and it doesn't have to just be products either.
The one thing Amazon, I don't want to say it made a change lately, but they put out a note that they do want the streams, the live shows, to be product focused. And so a lot of people came to us, and because a lot of what we do are interview based shows. So we'll have Neal Schaffer on, and of course Neal's got books. And so we can talk about that, but he's also got a microphone he's speaking into, a camera he's speaking into, like all of these items are around him. We fill that carousel. We may not necessarily get to those items during the course of the interview, because when we go live, we know in the back of our heads, we're going to be using that content for repurposing later. It's going to be an audio podcast. It's going to be, spliced up into all of this content and put it into the flywheel and go all over the place. But I think, Cami, a number of people think, okay, if I'm going to go live on Amazon, I have to create this whole different show, right? It has to be a whole different thing. And it really doesn't. You can just kind of like weave it into what you're doing. There's a number of creators. Jeff C is one of them. Scott Ayers is another. Jim, I know you know some others. They already were live on other platforms. They just added Amazon as another destination for them when they do go live. They just do, like I said, make sure that you have one eye on Amazon, because if somebody chats in Amazon, or somebody wants to know something about a product, if you don't weave that into the conversation while you're live on Amazon watches all of these.
Right. Well, and I was just adding a couple things. So I just added the Logitech camera that I have here. I added the lights that I use, the Viltrox 2 light, and actually, which I love.
The Viltrox.
I love.
I have some Viltrox as well right now.
Viltrox are the best. And then I wanted to add your camera, which was a Sony something that I can't remember anymore, but that's okay. Sony. What was it?
Sony ZV-E10.
ZV. See, that's why I didn't remember it. It was like,
this is a ZV-E10 and mine's a ZV-1. We're a ZVers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. So ZV-E10, that's a nice camera. Okay, good. Yeah. And the one is right under it, which is also a nice camera. So I just added both of those. So we have all of our cameras. So now if you can look at our three faces and see which ones. Mine's the cheapest, I will tell you, by far.
Well, I'm not using this one yet. I'm using a Logitech.
Can you tell which of the three of us have a mirrorless camera?
That would be you. You're the only one that has the mirrorless. Well, I would love to set up a mirrorless, but I would need you, Chris, to walk me through how to do it. So maybe we'll get there soon. And then it would help, because for the playback and stuff, I've been noticing it's pretty pixelated and bad. So that being said, I think that you can see that, the Logitechs are you can see how fuzzy Jim and I are compared to Chris's,
Yeah, he looks stunning.
He looks stunning. His colors are good. Everything's great. No, but I mean, truly, I think that it's great, because a lot of people do ask you those questions. I could put the names, I could put the books that are behind me on there. I have an entire book section in my shop. I have a shop that has books in it. So I just think there's so many opportunities here, for who, you can talk about books, you can talk about products, you can talk about just many different things, videos and movies. And because you can buy all of this stuff on Amazon at this moment. Right.
And you can get bounties for getting people to sign up for stuff. That's sometimes a little challenging to figure out how that's supposed to work with the live stream, but you could still share it out on your socials. The other thing too, that I don't know, maybe we're going to touch on this later, but two of the biggest, I'll say, days of the year are the Prime Days and Black Friday. And so Black Friday is still a couple months away for those of you on the fence. we literally get tens of thousands of viewers on those days because these people are there to shop and your videos popping up. And so we went live, 11 times over 2 days, Chris, this time. And I think we had, it was like 90,000 views of those shows. I think something like that. And how many times have you had 90,000 people watch your Facebook Live? Just saying.
It's a good question. But I do think it's great for us to have that. So a question about that when that's going on, I did have a question. So like when you are going live and you have all of those products along the bottom, are you like, and somebody goes to that page, is your live stream show up in that page or only product things? So
once you hit Insider, once you hit Insider, that's the driver for your traffic. So that's why you see thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of views when you get done at the end of the hours. Because if you're diligently kind of hitting products as you're going through, your live stream shows up on that page. And if another live streamer goes live and you're already on that page, you're basically there. And so during that time while your product is highlighted, you're talking about it, people are shopping on that page. And so they see you talking as the expert and they're going to click on your show and they're going to come over. Now, most of those views are drive-by views. They're thumb-by views, right? They're going to come by and they're going to go, this isn't interesting to me. Or
weird.
Whatever, right? Well, the other thing too is, and we should mention this, is inherent in Amazon's UI is that every one of the live streams is muted. So knowing that there is, your stream is muted, so they see you. So we do a lot of things called pattern interrupts, where we do things and we move things around and we keep things kind of going like this. And I have a graphic that does this, that says unmute. And so what that does is when people are shopping on the page and they see that, they're going to click on it because it's going to grab their attention. And then when they come over and they watch us, they're going to see something to unmute so they can hear us talking to great people like Cami and everyone else that we're interviewing on the show. So.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I do think it's going to be, I do think about user experience though, and how most people, I don't know how many people will stay and watch an entire live stream on Amazon when they're shopping. So I do think your little product videos are a really good point. I don't know, how do you find that a lot of people come just out of nowhere and watch your lives, or is it that there's an audience building up around the live platform?
There is an audience. We have people that show up on every one of our shows and chat with us. We have cool. I tell Jim, it's like, it's like I'm back in a band. It's like, these people are like, hey, how you doing? Hi, and it's just like, here they are, and then they're asking you questions. They're asking you about what you did that day. And so there is that. And I've seen other influencers where it's kind of, and there's actually fans of the Amazon Live platform. A lot of people do contests. A lot of people do giveaways. A lot of people do that kind of stuff. And so some people are kind of hanging out, hoping that they can enter to win a gift certificate to Amazon, or they can get discount codes. That's another thing. As an Amazon Live influencer, you can do discount codes. That's something that Jim and I haven't really leaned into, but that is an option if you want, and that will definitely attract more viewers, and it's a little more sticky, and people will watch that a little bit longer.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, when you go to the Amazon.com/live platform, you'll see like there's people that they have all their thumbnails up there. I can actually share my screen and show you. Let's do that real quick, because I think that's sometimes visuals help, for people. So let me just do that real quick. And then we'll also look at your show a little bit too and kind of see how you have that set up. But I do think that it's an interesting thing to keep your eye on. So I know a lot of people are thinking, well, how am I going to use this? But it's going to take a little creativity right now. But I do think that it's something that's going to be super interesting to see how this kind of comes around. I'm going to make this very big so we can see. We take up a lot of the real estate, guys. Add to stream. I'm adding it. Okay, here it is. So I'll just go to the top here so you can see when you get to the page, this one is being featured. I'm not sure why, probably because they have a very high ranking.
Probably an A-lister.
Yeah, A-lister, something like that. And then you'll start kind of going down, and it says I'm now watching this one, right?
And if you look at the far right, do you see that? Yeah, if you click on it,
there we are.
It'll pull you up.
Inception time.
Okay, are we ready to be super meta? I'm afraid the it's going to be like weird sounding, but this is how it would look, and it says I'm now watching it, even though it doesn't really. It's not really letting me watch it. But you see, they can give stars and so on. It's probably because there's too much going on in my computer. But anyway, it's very interesting. So you'll go here, and underneath each thing, you see her tray. See all these things that she has in her tray, right? All these things are just, you can shop right now for these things. I mean, yeah, it's not doing very great here, but that's how you go. So I think it's really interesting. And also you've made a URL called dealcasters.live that you've just forwarded to your page, right?
That's correct.
Exactly. It's a redirect. So yeah, I'd love to, if we could just talk a little bit about that. Amazon does not do you any favors when they give you your shop page URL. You can see if you were to click on any one of those shows, it's like the ugliest URL. It looks like hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it's up here.
And
you can kind of see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Screen, but...
And so we went and bought dealcasters.live, and so we redirect it to that page right there. We also bought dealcasters.shop. We bought dealcasters.contact. We bought, so we're big fans of piping traffic wherever it goes. I mean, Jim and I frequent social audio rooms, whether it's Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces. And so when you're in a room and you are, talking about your show, you don't want to go to amazon.com/shop/this spelled this spell, no one's going to go, right? No one remembers. You got to be memorable. And so that's what we did is we went and bought that .live. And so once, kind of back to the branding conversation, Cami, once, the company that is name.com saw that we were doing that, they approached us and said, hey, we really like the fact that you guys are doing this with .live. We have .live. Can we pay you and have you talk more about it? And we said, yes, you can. Absolutely. We would be happy to do that for you as long as we can offer a deal to other people when they do it. And so we could do that. Basically, if you go to name.com/live, you can get your own .live for $1.99. How's that?
Yes, we love that. So
just for
Live
you.
And name. I'm going to write this in. Say it again.
Here,
yeah.
I'll put it in this private chat. How's
that?
You
can, and then I'll put it in the I'll put it into one of these tickers. So very, very cool, because that makes it really easy for people. And also, this is a great hack for anything you do, like any live streams you have, anything you do. This is a great hack for you to put this together for everything, so people have a quick way for them to get there for your live streams. I still need to buy them, and I will. I promise.
Yeah, even if it's not on Amazon, right? You could buy, if nobody's bought it, camichat.live, and anytime that you're being interviewed, you just do a redirect to wherever you're going to be live at. That's the beauty of it. The redirect is like instant, so it's not like you have to go out and build a new website. I mean, Chris just, because we were talking with our contact from name.com last month, they also own .contact. Is that right, Chris? So now we have dealcasters.contact, which takes you to ways to contact us. And
your link tree or your tap link or whatever you use for all the stuff. You just say it's dealcasters.contact, and people will remember that. This is how I contact these guys. Boom.
Yep. And then for our Amazon storefront, we have dealcasters.shop. Because it's kind of the same thing, because otherwise it's amazon.com/shop. And then in my case, because we use my Twitter handle, it's Fusion Marketing, which people can't spell Fusion right to begin with because of the H. And then it's marketing. I had to abbreviate it because Twitter only lets you have so many characters. Right? Right.
That's why I'm Cami Chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I have the Get Live $1.99 for your own .live. So this is the directions on how to do it. If you're interested in buying a redirect, it's really easy. Once you buy it, you just go into the back end of the settings of on name.com and you just add whatever URL you're forwarding to, and that's it. And then you just change it as needed. So this is really exciting. We're running out of time, so I want to make sure I'm going to get the questions if there are any extra ones. So let me kind of scroll the questions here. Can't wait to investigate it. Go good, Kathleen. Kathleen's like going to be checking it out, which she should. Does anybody else have any questions? Am I missing something, Kimberly? Because I may have missed one. Follow them on Amazon. Yes, do that for sure. So yeah, so is there any like final things that you might want to, tell people as they're thinking about growing? Because it feels a little overwhelming. I'm going to be honest. To me, like just to add another thing felt a little overwhelming. I'm kind of getting my bearings on how I'm going to use it. But questions for you, like what's your recommendation so people can kind of tackle this in a way that's like maybe doable?
Yeah,
I think
we didn't cover one thing we want to touch really quickly on is Amazon Associates you want to make sure you're there, but in order for you to be approved as an Amazon influencer, you have to go through a process, which basically you have to choose one of three platforms: YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook Business. So whatever your most impactful platform is, that's how you have to submit. If you submit for YouTube, you'll know right away. So they obviously are looking at your subscriber base. And we think it's plus or minus 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers. That's kind of what we think it is. We've heard people with more get rejected and people with less get in. So like I said, they moved the goalpost. Facebook Business, I think, is maybe 5,000 or more is our guess. And Instagram around 2,000. That's just based on, us doing some investigative work, but you have to go in and submit that. So if you were to Google Amazon influencers submission, that'll be one of the top things that pop up. So that's something we didn't cover. So we want to make sure it's not
that's important. You're right. Because it's not everybody can get in. That's true. It's selective.
Yeah. And they took away Twitter. I wasn't happy about that because I know a lot of people that had a lot of, and as they were like, oh, I can apply. And it's like, well, now you can't, you gotta, or people like, what about my LinkedIn? But I would actually say if you don't have the YouTube following, which I know to me is hard to get the subscriber numbers.
Sure.
I really feel like Instagram is the way people can get there. Because I think if you're consistent on Instagram, you definitely see your follower numbers go up if you engage with others. So that would be my recommendation. And then I saw somebody had asked a question I saw about how can they learn more. There's actually a Facebook group. It's called the Amazon Live Creators. It's up to about 1,000 people. We're members of it. We didn't start the group, but we're very active. And there's a lot of great information in there. There's usually a weekly Zoom within the group as well. Chris and I do have a video, which is more how to sign up. I think that's at dealcasters.academy, Chris, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No. Dealcasters.university.
Yeah, that's right.
Another redirect.
Right. Yeah. So dealcasters.university, we did a short video talking about the process to get approved for Amazon. But we've also done several interviews where we've talked about how to get started, Nick. So, happy to share some more information with you. I don't know that Amazon has done anything specifically. They do have these Amazon Live like webinars, but they're usually very focused. But I don't think they've had one that's kind of the overall picture. But going back to your,
you said it was dealcasters.university. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put that up here on the screen so people can see it. And I also put it in the chat, so you should be able to find it there. But
yeah. And the thing, going back to your other question, Cami, that like you called it, the overwhelm. So if maybe you're not comfortable about going live all the time, you're worried about that. I really, and I've said this to several other people, especially seeing some success that people have had. Do the find three products around your house that you bought on Amazon. Do a short, 3 to 5 minute video talking about the features and benefits. And the other thing is get right into it, right? That's kind of the strategies. Like, don't sit there and talk, it'd be like, you could say like, hey, this is Cami. And like, I don't know if they have your,
I don't think they care who you are.
But you're right. But that planner you have, the one that you're
the full focus planner, they don't have them on there. But I've got. Oh, you talking about the Remarkable?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's a pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe it'll get there.
I want to bring it out anytime, but I could talk about anything. I mean, I was thinking, I get so much stuff from Amazon. I could bring out this mic and say this mic is a really great mic, the Audio Technica mic.
Yes.
Oh, that's a 2100.
Yes. 2100. It's probably one of the best mics for podcasting. If you don't want to go to the super fancy top of the line, it has a great sound. Often, I did all my podcast episodes with Madeline, and she has like a beautiful mic that's really expensive, and my mic, and we pretty much sounded the same.
It sounds so good you don't even need to plug it in.
Right now it's not. It's on the it's on this. But you
get
my other one plugged in right now, so I don't have room for that.
You get those videos done. Yeah. You get those videos done and open up that commission box by having the 3 videos now. It used to be 10. You might start to see you're making a little bit of money, and that might get your confidence to do more on it, as opposed to feeling like, oh my gosh, I got to do this all the time. I mean, what's funny is Chris and I, we try to go live at least once a week. But we've been much more focused on doing product videos now, as opposed to the live streaming. I mean, we make a few dollars when we go live for sure. But it's these other opportunities. It's these companies approaching you to talk about their products, or you could even approach them once you've built up your following and can kind of, because you get all these stats. Like, we know how much we've sold. We know how many products we've shipped. And it's like running a business. If you dig into the details, Chris it's extremely helpful. His background working for Sony, he's come up with some ideas that I wouldn't maybe have thought about that have really helped us in our strategies as well. And we do plan, right? And Cam, we've talked about this. We will be launching a course I'm gonna put the pressure on us, Chris, in 2021.
That's a lot of pressure there.
There's like only 4 months left, but we're at least going to get it started. And
I sent you an entire step-by-step process for how to start your own course.
Yes, you did.
You should just follow. It's very, very straightforward.
Yep.
But yes, we all have things to do. I have things to do too that I haven't done yet. Chris, you know that too. There's just a lot that we, because I've got a video he's going to help me with. Anyway, the point is that, get started on something, but I just wanted everybody in the community to hear about this. We are at the end here. I just want to make sure that we have a few announcements, but guys, thank you so much. This information was amazing. I think that it's going to help a lot of people. If you guys know someone who you think this would help, please share this with them. Share it with your audience. It would be really helpful to us. This will, wherever you're watching this now, whether it be on LinkedIn, on Insta, or on Facebook, or on YouTube, this is going to be playing exactly where you see it in replay. Somebody asked earlier, is there a replay? Yes. That's what this amazing about this live streaming is, that it's always a replay. So make sure you share that. Also, I did want to let you know that last month we did meet at the Arboretum here in Houston, live and in person for the first time in like over a year. So it was amazing. And I just wanted to make sure I made the announcement that we did have like a photo contest. This is a really cool, just a prairie video, which I can't play the whole thing, but different people came out and they all did this really cool thing on HA snaps, which was this is one that was taken. This is one of our photo contest winners. Pretty cool. Isn't that beautiful? This is for, I think, for wildlife. I can't remember exactly what he won for, but this is J.R. Woody, Mr. James, amazing, amazing photographer. Joe, who just moved here from Australia, did these amazing path photos, and one of her photos, this one specifically, won one of the contest winners. Yeah. And then Kathleen, she did some really cool stuff showing all the places around the Arboretum where you could take photos. So if you are a person that's doing that kind of stuff, you can see she just had some really great shots in here. I think the one we picked is coming up. But yeah, we loved them all. I mean, there were so many really great things that people had. I think it might have been the mushroom. And then Miss Deborah took some cool ones the day that we had a rainstorm. So the first day we tried to do this, it rained out. So I had like 2 or 3 amazing people, JR, Deborah, and a couple of others that came out that day, even though it was raining cats and dogs. And so we rescheduled. So this is like the drops of water running off of the lives of the stuff. So they won. They actually won year passes to the Arboretum. So yeah, It was a cool prize. Also, just letting you guys know that the most recent Houston digital marketing and communication job listings are up. So what it needs now is for you to come and leave a comment if you have a job that you have out there. I'm going to probably be adding one here soon. And so just come put the jobs that you want. And if you're searching for a job, make sure you like this and follow this so that you can see what people put up there. So if you're looking for a job or you're looking for somebody amazing for your staff, this community, you can't really look further than this community for such an amazing group of people. So come and do that. And I think that's all of our announcements. So thank you guys so much for being here today. So appreciate it. We will be meeting in 2 weeks for our coffee. We do a Zoom coffee. That is one more announcement where we actually network. So I know one of the bad things, guys, and I love that you're all here and talking to each other in the comments, but we don't really get to network like we do when we were live. So we do another one on the 4th Friday of the month, same time, and we get together. And Jim, you've come once or so, didn't you come, or did you come?
I think I came on. I'll definitely try to make it.
So people come from everywhere. It's not just Houston people. So it's a really great place to meet new people and network. And also we talk about what's like hot right at that moment. So I usually pick whatever it is that's like the big talk of the town for that week. Cause there's always something that changes in social media, like literally every week. So that's what we talk about. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Make sure that you check us out. If you want to get on our mailing list, send me a DM and I will send you the link to get on that. And I think that's it. So thanks guys so much for being here.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye. You too.